Hello everybody, Angie here. I'm coming on with part 2 of my little mini series here where I'm putting together a folio / journal. I don't know if you saw part 1, but if not, you may want to hop over and check that out. We are just kind of working on the structure and putting a beautiful piece together using mailer envelopes. So if you like working with envelopes, might be a good project for you to give it a try. Okay, so this is part 2. Got all my goodies here. And this is what we've done so far using 5 envelopes. And we've just structured it where we've got 2 on the left that open. We've got a third middle panel and then 2 on the right. And we've just kind of begun covering it with some digital papers. So that's really all we've worked on so far. So we're going to keep going on this and yeah, see what we end up with. So I had, where I left off, I had this piece of paper. I think I wanted it on this side. So we're just going to get right into this and see if we can get as much as we can done. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing good. Now, when I did this last one, it worked out fairly well. I just kind of lined up my, make sure I'm in frame. I lined up my papers and I'm just getting, you know, as close as we can. I'll probably end up having to do some, what do I want to say, inking. But we'll wait till the end and see, you know, just how bad the edges are, how it looks, and, you know, how much little white space and such like that is showing, and we'll go from there. So I'm just tracing along the edge of this flap here, so I know where to cut this digital. And I used a pencil on the other side, so I thought I'd try this and see how well this works. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, somewhere close. All right, there we go. Can you see that like little indentation that I made there? So I know where to trim. And let's do it. See, I was thinking about just how elaborate, I guess you could say, I want to make this, which I really don't know. I just thought it would be fun to make something with some envelopes. And I just had a whole bunch of leftover pages and pieces from digitals. You know how like you may have a digital set and you might just use half of it or couple pieces of it, or you might have a couple left. Well, I have a lot of those stray pieces laying around, so I just tried my best to find a few that played well together and had some of the same colors, and that's what I'm using on this project, which as I'm going, I see I'm going to be needing more than what I initially grabbed, so I did grab a couple more and set them aside. You'll see in the pile here shortly. Along with some doilies. Thought doilies might play nice with this piece as well. So we'll see what we end up with. But once you get the main structure, if you're making this project along with me, we've done the structure, you know, the layout and how you decorate and, you know, do your little twists and make it your own piece is totally up to you. I'm just kind of winging it. I just thought it'd be a fun project to do together. So, yeah, that's all. I love making journals and folios and, you know, that type of thing. I mean, this isn't necessarily a journal, but it's going to end up being a journal. Do you know what I mean? Kind of a journal folio kind of piece. All right, I'm all thumbs here this morning. Sorry about that, just dropped my glue bottle. Let's try that again. So yeah, I initially had an idea of how I wanted the structure to go, but as far as anything else, you know, as I said, you know, just be patient, because I might end up changing my mind here or there. Just wing it. just have fun crafting, you know? No stress, no worries. Just craft. And I think that slid a little on me. I'll just have to make the adjustments accordingly. Okay, flip it around here. Go down the other side. So we're going to get this covered up. And we're going to get the signature sewn in. And we'll see where we're at on time there. And I thought maybe, you know, get into further into the decorating, adding pockets and tuck spots or whatever. I don't know, we'll see what we're working with. This is kind of, thought-wise, this is kind of as far as I have gotten. But sometimes I find for myself that just starting on a project really kind of gets your juices flowing. You know, you may not have the whole picture from A to Z already all planned out, but once you get started, ideas just flow, So that's how I work sometimes. And I like working on, you know, on a whim as well. Keeps your creative juices flowing. It keeps you second guessing and things like that. Okay, so here's the pieces that I had left. And I don't think that's going to be enough. So I grabbed these beautiful prints here that I had. I grabbed a couple of those. And then I had a couple of old vintage ledger document style. So I grabbed those. And then these are just a few more of what I have left. So let's grab that along with the papers that I'm going to make a signature out of. And we'll put the rest of this stuff to the side for the moment. All right. Have that ready. Okay. So I was thinking initially maybe this. Just something a little different. But I'm not liking that now that I'm looking at it. So I'm thinking this. And we'll just go all the way across. Almost fits perfectly. Little edging. But we'll just center it the best we can. And I think that's about it right there. So I'm just going to hold that in place. And like I said, you know, cover your envelopes however you want. You may want to collage with smaller pieces, multiple, rather than I'm using, you know, whole or half images right here. Definitely do you. You might be wanting to go with a theme. However you see to do it, do it. See that little edge hanging over? That's why I thought maybe I could get away with not having to ink because the envelopes already have color on them. So, you know, we'll see how it looks when we're done. And I might, you know, I might be satisfied with a little bit of edge. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. All right. Now this is just getting laid all the way across. Just a fun piece. And this, making projects like this, honestly, helps me with ideas for future projects. Because I might see this and say, you know what, I would have done this differently if I were to do it a second time. And then along those lines, it gets you to, like I said, it just kind of gets your juices flowing. And, you know, oh, what about this? Or maybe I should change this and make it like this. But if you like the project, you might want to make another one, but make it smaller. You know, I'm making it according to the size of envelopes that I had. I mean, we end up with a lot of junk mail, but they're all random sizes. And this one, just so happened I had 5 or 6 all the same size. So I said, you know what, it was meant to be. I need to do a project with these. So that's how I came up with this one. Okay, so that side's glued down. It's pretty. So let's do this side. Again, we're just gonna line it right up. Get it as close. So like I said, no 2 envelopes are gonna be exactly the same. I'm gonna turn this a little bit so I can see this edge. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some trimming or something there, because I've got it, if you can see that, it's even up here, but it's hanging over a little bit when we get to the bottom. So we're definitely gonna have to do some, excuse me, some type of adjusting, but we'll see. Okay, I think that's about as close as I'm gonna get there. There we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. I thought, why not? We could probably, I don't know, get away with this video and maybe one more. I mean, it's not going to be real detailed. I mean, we're going to keep it pretty simple. But hopefully it'll just give you some ideas, or another idea of something to do and make with your envelopes in junk mail. We all love repurposing, recycling, all that mail we get, instead of just throwing it away, turning it into something beautiful and useful. I'm going to spread that glue around a little bit. All right, how pretty. Get the crease going, and there we go. I think it's all covered now. Look at that. Open it to this one, open it to this side, and then flip it over. We've got the back and the front flaps covered. It's kind of big, but you guys can see that it's all covered. Okay, now let's address real quick this little bit right here where this piece is covered, exposed. I was gonna bring some ink to it. I'm just gonna slide my mat underneath and I'm gonna trim it away. That's my goal. And I'm just gonna cut it off. Try and keep a straight line. That's a lot quicker and easier. This little corner doesn't want to come up. There we go. There we go. How about that? Okay. So that is our structure for our piece. Now, I thought we would do a couple signatures. And I've got some coffee dyed paper here. I just grabbed a pile. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good, perfect. Even number. We're gonna do 5 in each. So I'm gonna grab 5 pieces for the left and 5 for the right. And these are 8.5 by 14 inch in size, so that's why you see a little bit hanging over. I didn't want to cut them off until I knew for sure if I didn't want to fold them over and make some tuck spots or anything like that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's measured up. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a signature right in the middle of these two flaps here. We're going to put a signature on this side and a signature on the other side. And look at how perfect. That's what I'm saying. This project, it was just meant to be. I didn't have, these were 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to have to cut my papers down. A nice little folio. Okay, just want to make sure my papers are all straight. Snug. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. And down we go. Now, I'm not going to cut away this excess because I may, like I said, I may want to fold it over. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. So, I'm just going to cut away the top. So, I'm going to do some lines here. I was going to use my guillotine, but I think if I try to put these papers in there, they're going to slide on me. So I'm just going to do a manual cut. Okay, just like this with my finger blade. And that's where the edge is. So I'm going to come in maybe, you know, 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch. Try and get it straight. Thinking about right there. All right, let's check that. Looks good. Now, if I fold these over, we can have some flip outs or some side tucks or something like that. Let's do I'm gonna try and line it up. About it. Line up this first one because we can have a fold out, we can make that a side tuck, whatever we want to do. Okay, so there's one, and this paper is torn, but we can salvage that. All right, now that that side's, see what I want to do here. Might have to do one at a time. I think it'll be a little easier. We can repair that maybe with some washi or another piece of paper or something. Not a big deal. Pretty straight. So that gives us 2. I think 2's enough. So let's trim off the other ones. But how you do your papers, again, matter of preference. Okay, so let's alternate those. So we'll go 1, and we'll do a flip out. we'll do one, then we'll do a flip out, and then we'll do one. Pretty straight. And we're going to just sew that in with a standard 3-hole pamphlet stitch right there. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about measuring my holes perfectly. I'm just going to get it in. All right, I need to get some clips to hold these in place. 1 second. Okay, let's see what we can do here. In the middle. Looks like it's pretty lined up. All right, let's clamp those down. And sew them in. I'm going to go by my grid. I'm going to try and find the middle, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Right about there. And I'll grab my pokey tool. Right about there. I'm just going to eye it. There's one hole. Come up about 1 inch or so. And same distance on the top from the bottom. All right. And that's where those, if you watched part 1, where I put those little strips down the middle section, I knew I was going to be sewing these in. So that's why I did that, to try and reinforce the spine a little bit, make it a little bit stronger. Having that extra layer of paper. Alrighty. And we're in. Oh. One on each side, of course. There we go. Here's one. Let's do the other one the exact same way. So there we go, got up, see how that, it looked good, but once we get it sewn in, I think I'm gonna have to trim a little more off. It's gonna interfere with this side closing. But let's get that in first and then I'll adjust the papers. Alrighty, so we did 2 flips on the left, so we'll do 2 flips on the right. Let's open that up and position this side. And pencil. So since we already know by sewing it's going to push those papers out a little bit, I'm going to go just, when I trim, I'm going to trim it just a little bit more than I did the first time. Try to. All right, let's go about maybe that far in. That's about 1/4 of an inch. Keep these to the side, might be able to use them. All right, and then the other 2 pieces we are going to fold over. Well, I guess I need to trim these off though first. Mat in. Trim off one side, leave the other. All right. Let's get these 2 folded in. All right, and then alternate those as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. And these ones will go into here. Looks really good. All right, let's see what happens. I think I want to go this way. There we go. Find the middle. All right, here we go. Middle's right about here. About an inch or so from the top and an inch or so from the bottom. Just like that. All right, I think I just lost my needle though. It's around here somewhere. I'm gonna grab another one. No worries, it's around here. As we go, it'll turn up. 1, 2, 3, and a smidge. Okay. Go. Don't lose this needle. I'm going to put it up here. All right, pull that taut, tie it off. you want to leave your strings long, again, matter of preference. All right, and we've got ourselves 2 signatures, just like that, guys. Look at that. Not too bulky. I was kind of curious how that was gonna turn out. So you can flip it this way, or right to left, or left to right. Totally up to you. I liken the way I trimmed this one down a little bit more, so I'm gonna end up going, the left goes in first, and then the right goes on top, and see how that hangs over a bit. Let's clean that up a little. So I'm gonna flip this back piece away, and I'm just gonna trim off, see that? I'm gonna just trim off a little bit. Try and keep these straight. Kind of awkward with the flap there, but we'll get around it. Say about right there. What do you think? Now, when you're doing this with the X-Acto knife, do not move your ruler until you're completely done with your cuts, or your papers will shift and it'll be more difficult for your cuts. Just go over and over as many times as necessary until you're all the way through. And you're sure you're all the way through. And it looks good. Oh yeah, look at that. See that? Much cleaner. Let's take a look now. Oh yeah, see that? Much better. So now if I want to do left to right, I can do left to right. I think I still like left first and then right though. There we go. But you could definitely do either way. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna get these little strips out of the way. I don't think I will save those. Discard all that. As soon as I throw them away, I'm gonna regret it, but. All right, there is our double signature folio journal. There it is, guys, boom. We've got signature on the left with a nice large pocket on the right with another signature. There we go. Boom. It's done, guys. So let's do a little decorating. I'm thinking a pocket in the middle, and maybe even a couple side tucks along the left and the right inside panels. Cover pages, you know, the back. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what kind of scraps we've got here. And these pieces that we cut off, they can be used for tags, bits and pieces, if we want to use those. Because I still have these strips left over from yesterday, or should I say the last video. There's a couple strips. Let's see, got a couple more here. Let's see. Kind of takes away from the prettiness, doesn't it? Maybe not. Maybe just a pocket right here. We can cover up that portion of it and leave the flowers to be exposed. Let's see. Here's that piece. And since, I just had an idea. Since this is an envelope style piece, let's make this half of a page into a quick envelope. What do we say about that? I'm just gonna guess about there for size. Fold this down, and it'll be like an envelope style pocket right there. How about that? I like it. I have to trim a little bit off here because it's going to interfere with the opening and closing. So let's just trim a hair off of the edge there. So let me move this out of the way. Use my mat, get a straight cut. And just trim off about 1/8 of an inch. Perfect. And then this will open up like so. And we'll have a pocket back here as well as a pocket here. We have a pocket on the left and a pocket on the right. How about that? Yes. Okay. So what type of closure do we want on this? Do we want to just leave it free? I'm thinking a little something there. Use some of these scraps up. And I think this darker one will look nice. So let's fold this. Okay, let me move this out of the way for the moment. I'm going to fold this paper 3 times, get nice and thick. And then we're going to cut a circle out. And we'll get 3 thicknesses there. Make it nice and sturdy. Give that a second to dry. I'm going to find my 1-inch circle punch. Be right back. Hold on. Okay. The glue, I forgot about that. Sorry guys. It sticks. See, the glue hasn't. Okay. That's stuck. Let's see what else we could do. Let me attempt to get it unstuck here. There we go. I forget about that with the glue. It doesn't always want to cut. I might be able to get a manual cut out of that. Let's see what I can do. Cut it halfway. Take my time. There we go, not too bad. Clean it up a little bit. There we go. All right, it wasn't too bad. Good save. Let me grab some ink. And where my dabber is at the moment. But I'm just going to go around the edges of this piece here. I'm just going to take away that white. I don't know where my dabber is. There we go. Okay, and I think we will put this right there for a closure. So we're just going to glue it halfway. That glue dries so fast. Okay, let's find the middle. Thereabouts. And down we go. And we've got ourselves a closure. Okay. That's our closure. So we can close up the, now, if you want to do this type of envelope style, the white may bother you. You may want to cover that. I don't know. Do we want to cover it? No, I don't think I do. I'm just thinking. Let me see what I have. No, I don't think I do. So let's go ahead and close up this envelope. Okay. Trying to move some of the stuff out of the way here. Don't have too much room to work. Okay, so that is going to go right there, guys. What do you think? I like it. Okay, I don't want to glue that yet. I'm just thinking. I think I would like a little bit of a bigger opening on these, because I think pulling stuff out from the left and the right and having a pocket here might kind of like interfere a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? I'm looking around to see what I have I can use. I could just free cut it, freestyle. I think I'm going to, guys. I'm gonna grab a pencil. And I work better if I have a line to guide me. So I'm gonna just pencil in. Maybe not quite that big, but what do we think? Something like that? And I'm just looking at how far I took those pieces of paper inside the envelope. All right, hopefully I'm not making a mistake, but something tells me I want to open these just a bit. So I'm gonna use that pencil as a guide. Oh yeah, I like that much better. Just have a little bit more of an opening. You like that? Okay, let's erase these pencil marks. Yes, I like that. Okay, so I can actually turn this around and use this as a template to get both sides the same. Give myself a little light pencil mark here. There we go. And let's trim that away the same size. Carefully. All right, I like it. Now this kind of shows a little bit, but we'll stick some ink or something in there. Or maybe I'll just put another little piece of paper or something. Have to adjust that just a smidge. Can you see that? Just a little bit. But we'll see what we can do to fix that. So if that's something that you want to do, hopefully your paper was a little bit wider than the strips that I used. All right, but I do like that. Okay, now let's put our envelope down, I think. Well, should I ink or should I not? I think I should. Let me grab a dabber, find a dabber. Okay. Yeah, I think that needs a little something, especially since the little closure that we made has a little dark edge. Let's just ink around the envelope so it stands off the page a little bit more. Open it up and get the inside flap as well. I'm just going around the edges, guys. Okay. And I'm going to use a piece of this strip. I'm going to try and get the inside of this flap as well, just a little bit. Hit that with a little bit of ink also. Just like that. There we go. All right, now I think we're ready to put it down. Yeah, I think that looks much better. Oh, and my glue is oozing out, so we'll do it this way. Alrighty. Down we go. Grab a wipe here. Clean up those glue smudges. All right, there we go. I like it. And I think while I've got the ink close by, I'm gonna do a little bit on these edges that I cut. So just bring in a piece of scrap paper the same way, so we don't make too much of a mess. And we'll ink up those edges a little bit. Or a lot, if you want. Totally up to you. Now, if you know you're going to ink your project, of course, do all your edges before you start gluing your flaps and your folds and your pockets and such like that. See, I was going to try and get away with not doing any inking at all. But I always end up changing my mind. I don't know. You'd think I'd learn, but I always end up changing my mind. Even if it's just a little bit of ink. Ink is our savior in our crafting pieces, I'll tell you. See? nice. I like that. Deep brown. Looks really good on these digitals. Actually, see those little flaps that are going up? I'm thinking I just want to cut those away. I'm thinking I just want to go all the way up with those and not even worry about those little edges. Yeah, just like that. That's one side. See, that's what I mean by, you know, changing your mind and, you know, altering and making adjustments as you go. There we go. I think that's better. Just nice and rounded all the way around. Let's throw a little ink on that. Yep. Much, much better. Now let me see if I can put some ink. I'm going to try and use my hand manually. Put a little ink there and see how that looks. I may have to bring in some more paper. We'll see. But if I like it, I'm going to have to do the other side the same way, of course. But let's just see. You know what? I don't even really mind it. I'll go ahead and bring some ink to this side just for now, just for purpose of while we're working on our piece. But I can always bring in another little scrap piece later. Okay. Very good. All right, guys. What do you think? Signature on the left. Open it up. Nice large pocket. We've got a pocket here, as well as a little pocket there. Another here with a signature on that side. I'm digging it. All right, now what do we want to do? I'm thinking these edges are going to need adjusting. So let's do that. See how that's hanging over? My hand keeps catching on that. Do I want to put some trim or lace? Just thinking. Bring a little glue in there for the moment. Just using my finger. Let's check this side. That one's pretty good. A little bit on the edge here. Okay, that side's pretty good. All right, well, I'm liking it so far. How can we dress this piece up a little bit more? Now, I'm thinking we can't do too much to these panels because that's just going to make it more and more bulky. But if you don't mind, you know, by all means, do that. But I'm thinking maybe dress up these front sides a little bit with either some crochet trim or lace, and then maybe some book corners, and then figure out a closure. See what kind of a closure. Well, okay. Well, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. All right, well, I think that's a good place to stop for right now, guys. We'll do one more part. I think I will try and think of what type of closure I want to use, and we'll dress up this front panel of this side, the right side signature, and the left side signature. And that's going to be probably all I have left to do. Okay. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you guys like what you see. Okay, that's what we've got, using repurposing 5 envelopes. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But see, if we're going to have to figure out some type of closure, or it won't, you know. So we'll need some type of closure. Maybe we could just do a ribbon. Who knows? All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you guys like what you see. Hope you guys are making a project along with me. If you have any questions, leave me a comment down below. I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button if you found something of value in this video today. And I will see you soon for part 3. Thank you for stopping by. Love you. Bye-bye.